Okay, so this is a tutorial about how to create a piece of digital art from the op art designs that you have in your process journal. I'm in Photoshop. I have opened a photograph of something from my process journal. I do that by doing File, Open. The first thing I notice, the white part of the page is kind of gray, so I'm going to try and improve that by adjusting the contrast. I can do that under Image. I could go Adjustments and manually adjust, or I could try Auto Contrast. And that does a lot of good. I might tweak it a little bit more, with Brightness and Contrast. Brighten it up, increase the contrast. I'm trying to get some dark blacker areas and the background nice and white while still keeping my lines seen so I can see them easily. I'll say okay for here. Okay, and then I'm going to get rid of that unnecessary information, so I'm just dealing with my checkerboard by cropping. So I'm using the crop tool right there. I can move it a little bit with my arrows if I need to. Get right to the edge and press enter to crop. Okay, now you can see I did this with pencil. Actually, this is not mine, but I'm just going to act like it's mine for the sake of the talk here. So it's done in pencil. I would like to sharpen this up so it's clearly black and white. I can use my fill bucket. And my preset for my color palette over here is black and white, so that's already set, and I can flip it white to the front or black. And I can try and just fill in some of these areas so you can see how it could still be whiter. So I could go through and whoops, didn't want to do that, so I can step back in history one step. If you want to see your history palette, it is right under Window and then History. Just tick that, it will come up, and you can go all the way back in time as far as maybe 25 steps up to where you've opened it, and then you can go forward in time also. So I'll go to there. I can keep filling these in and fill in as much as I want to. This works really well because my area is nice and defined. The pencil circle is closed completely so it knows where to fill in. Alright, I think I got them all. I could also go in and do the little triangle spaces if I want to, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'll switch it over to black, and I could again fill in some of the black areas. Now notice it's trying to fill in what it thinks I want filled in, and it's going, yeah, to all the areas that it can touch and communicate with each other. Now if you want to have it spread more, you can increase the tolerance. So 32 is kind of like the average tolerance. I'll change it to 60 and let's see how much it fills in to try and get it to fill in more. Yeah. So it's a little bit more lenient with what it's filling in. You can try even more if you want to. And then that's too much. It bled right to the edges, so I'll undo that. I'll go back to my average there. Something else I could do, I could take my paintbrush, and you can see it's pretty close in size. The paintbrush, you can do brackets, the right to go bigger, the left to go smaller, and try and get it approximately to the size you want. And then just go around and fill in the areas you want to fill in. So you can go ahead and edit this as much as you want to. And transform your drawings in here as much as you want to. Maybe it's pretty much as you want it already, and I'll talk about that in a little while. But then I want to tell you about how to tile this design. So I want to duplicate this 4 times so I have a nice canvas to work with. And how I'm going to do that is, well, first I'm going to see how big my canvas is. You can see the rulers are up here. If your rulers aren't there, you could do Control R, and that removes the rulers or gives you the rulers. And mine is in inches because I'm American and I can understand that, but yours can definitely be in centimeters. You can just change it under preferences, how you want your measurements to be. And I'm going to see how big this is. Okay, so my image size is 8 inches by 9 inches. That's okay. I will change it to centimeters for my viewers. And I'm going to say okay. And I'm going to adjust my canvas size. I want, because of this heavy black area down here, I thought it'd be nice to have that in the center, so I'm going to have my canvas grow that way. So this is my original artwork there, and I'm going to extend my canvas this way. And I want to have it be double this size. Let's change it to centimeters. So it's about 22 centimeters, so I'll make it 44 centimeters by 1836 centimeters. Okay. And then we're going to start to use the layers over here. I'm assuming with this video that you've already had a little bit of background with Photoshop. If not, you can go back and watch the beginner Photoshop video. I'm going to just start working with layers here. I'm going to select the area I want to duplicate. You can see I unlocked my layer by double clicking. You can use the select marquee here to choose what you want to select duplicate. You can remember press Control and that little triangle and see the other options that you have here. I'm working with a rectangle, so I'm just going to go rectangular. Okay, looks good. I'm going to copy, Command C, and paste, Command V. And then I'm going to move this layer 1 over to here. And let's see, I did want to flip it so this part was in the center. I can Command T and try and rotate it around. Now the difficulty is I'm working with a rectangle here. And you know what, I do want it to become a square eventually, so I'm going to line this up here. Okay, so I actually don't like how that's lining up because then it's white, white, black, black, white, white, black, black instead of the checkerboard. So maybe I'll just keep rotating this and see if this works out. I'm doing free transform. And okay, that's all right. And now I'm going to paste again, Control V. And I have another layer there, and I can adjust that, move that around. And that's all right. Approximately. And then I'll do it again, Control V. And it pastes it one more time. And this is okay too. Okay, so I have what I could use as a tile, except like I said, it is kind of rectangular. So I would like to trim it down. Well, I can show you if I did image size, and let's say I wanted to make it a square. Well, I do want to make it a square. So if I make it a square here, if I change 44 to 36, it automatically changes the other size because it is proportionately linked right here. So I'm going to unclick that so it's not proportionately linked, and I'm going to change this one to 36. And I will have some skewing here. Let's see what happens and if I can tolerate it or not. Actually, yeah, that's okay. So now it's a square, and it's kind of large. I'm going to make it smaller just so my computer can handle that much information easier. So I'm going to make it half the size. Oops, and I'll make this one half the size. I'll click this so it's proportionately changing again. Oh, whoops, 18. There we go, so it does it proportionally. And now I have a smaller tile to work with. And I also have many layers over here. The more layers you have, the more it is to deal with. I like to keep my layers in control where I can see for the most part. So what I'm going to do is merge the layers together. I can, if I control click over here, I can choose merge down, and then those two layers merged. I can also, because all of these are visible and I want them all together, I can merge visible, or I could flatten the image because it's all that there is over there. Okay, I'm going to tile this bit right here. And how I'm going to do that is, again, increase my canvas size. And I'm dealing with my canvas size now. I want my canvas to grow that way, so I'll keep my original here. If I keep it here, it grows out from the middle, but I actually want it in a corner, so any corner is okay. And I will triple this, so let's change centimeters. Let's see. Well, actually, I'll just double it once again so I can fit that in there. I'm just going to select with my marquee tool there so I can get what I want. All right, I'm going to copy that and then paste it. And let's, with my move tool, I can move it over. There we go, I can paste it again. Adjust it where I want it and paste it again. And then I have an image that's tiled. And I want this to be the background of the design I'm making. So again, I'm going to merge all that are visible. And now I'd like to work with one of my star designs in here. So I'm going to open up a star that is a sample from the Amaziograph program. File open, Amaziograph. Okay, and you can see now it's opened in another tab up here. I want to just select the star. I don't want all this extra white bit around here. I could, with my magic eraser, go through and erase these white sections. But the problem is I'll still have all the little white bits inside the star if I move it over, which I want to get rid of. I just want to select the black part of the star. I can try and select it with my magic wand tool. Now remember, if you don't see the magic wand here, you can control click and maybe it's there. I could also try and select it with my lasso tool, and there's the magnetic lasso tool you can choose from to draw with, and it would probably select the outside fine. I'm going to try with my magic wand to select the inside, and what you'll see is happening is because it's split into the sections when the star was made, I'm going to have to press shift and go around and select all the black areas. Oops, it's doing some of them for me. Okay, now I'll see if I've selected everything by cutting it. So I'll X. Okay, so I missed those, obviously all the white parts, but also all those inner little triangles, and I'm just going to be okay with not having those. I'm going to make a new layer and paste it on there. And then I'm going to get rid of this extra layer over here, drag it to the trash. Alright, so now I have this star, and it's on this layer. Let me use the move tool. I can move it around, and I just have the star alone that's created in Amaziograph app. I want to move this to my other canvas, so I'm going to click it, I'm dragging it, I haven't released the click, I release it, oh, and there it is, it's pretty small. I can free transform, Control T, and shift and drag it to whatever size I want it to be. And of course I can use the move tool then to move it around. Now it's kind of getting lost in the checkerboard. I could go to my checkerboard and maybe decrease the opacity of it a little bit to make it more gray if I want to do that. I was thinking maybe I would make my star stand out by using color. And I'll adjust the color. There's a variety of ways. You could try fill and double click and choose a bright color. And then go in and you want to make sure you're on the right layer. And you can go in and try and fill, and it does fill quite a bit. And you could change each section if you wanted to, and you can do this on your own design as well. Okay, so you can go over to your original star. You can see it's selected, and if it's not selected you can use the magic wand to select it, and I can move it around so I know that I have what I want selected. And you can choose whatever color you want here. You can double click here on the color swatch or choose up over here. Alright, so I'll go for, that looks good. If it's whatever is selected is what will be adjusted. So I can paint, I'm just using my paintbrush, and it's only painting within my selected area. So that looks pretty cool. So I'm going to then, I can deselect, if it's still sparkling like that, deselect, and there's my star. I can use the move tool to click and drag. So I clicked, I'm dragging, and now I'm bringing it over here, and I'm still holding down my click, and there is the little star. Now how about I bring that up over here and free transform, Command T to adjust the size. So that is pretty fun. You can just play with this now and see if you get what you like. I kind of like it back there. What if I go back over here now? I'll press enter for free transform. Go back over here, and I'm going to go back and have my magic wand selected, and I'll choose another color. Should I go brighter green? I'll try the green, see how that looks. And I'm choosing my paintbrush, and I'm just filling it in again with a big paintbrush. Command D for deselect. And then I can click and drag and bring it over here and drop it. Oops, now I guess my pink layer didn't keep it when I went back in time, but I will adjust that. Okay, so I've got a pink star. And it's okay if it gets cut off. I'll go to my enter. Yes, because I didn't press enter. Command T for the pink one. Now you can see the order of the layers here. What's on top? The black one. If I wanted there, so how about I cut that in half again? So now my whole tile is this size, and I can adjust my canvas size again. Canvas size, I'll have it go out from the corner again, and 36 by 36. Okay. I'll flatten what's over here so it's all one. Actually, I will merge it all together. Merge visible, so then it's a one layer. I'll select this bit with my marquee. Copy, paste. And with my move tool, I can move this around. So you can see it's just right there. Now it is fun with the free transform to adjust your design a little bit if you wanted like the green parts to be touching. Get that straight. And I can paste it again and bring it down to this corner. And this is where you can create some interesting designs in the middle. Or here I'm putting the green on the outside. And I'll paste it one more time. And again, free transform. Make any adjustments on there that you wish. Maybe you'd want to put another star right in the middle. You can crop your final design to get rid of any extra space. Oh, whoops. Bring this in a little bit. Bring that in a little bit. There we go. Now let's say that you are done with this. Oh, I don't really like this. I want the greens to be over this green right here to be in up over here. So I'm going to adjust that still, free transform. So green's on the inside. And then I'll go to this one and adjust it too. So green will be here. And there's more of the design that I want. Okay. So yeah, you can evaluate how you want your final design to be. I'm going to flatten this image and save it as a JPEG. So as I took a picture, it came in as a JPEG. I'm going to call it Miss Graham Final Digital Op Art and save it. And then you can upload it to your G folder.